My husband, 28 male, said he regrets getting married to me, 26 female. How should I go about this? My husband, 28 male, and I, 26 female, had gotten married when we were 20 and 22. He got his college degree a year later, but has since been unemployed after graduating. I have been the sole person working minimum wage jobs to support both of us. Every year, he would make an excuse saying he's looking for work or he wouldn't take certain jobs due to lower pay. He would become visibly irritated when I would ask him on how the job search was going. He would answer quickly and change the subject. Like the dumbass I am, I genuinely believed all of his excuses. I have tried to help him with his resume and have sent him over 500 plus job applications. Our argument started the other day while my husband was ranting while drinking. Somehow he got onto the topic of friends. According to him, he says that because of me, he had lost opportunities to create friendships, and the couple friends he did have, I ruined them. He also said if he could have gone back in time, he would have never gotten married to me at such a young age. I used to ask him when we first got married, if this relationship isn't working for you, please let me know so we can save each other from heartache and wasted time. He would tell me he loved me and that he could never think of a life without me by his side. Now fast forward all these years and he's telling me that he regrets getting married to me then. I cried so much hearing this. At this point he's drunk and just arguing with me on why I'm crying. I asked him to stop drinking and he said no. He believes I'm the problem and his drinking isn't. He blames me for how his life is. I loved him with all my heart, but how can I be with somebody who never really wanted to be with me? I feel so blindsided and hurt. I feel like I was wasting my time and energy on this person. We are currently not speaking to one another. How should I go about this now?
Divorce. Am I the asshole for losing my mind because my wife keeps lying about passing gas? I can't believe I'm even writing this now. The answer is so obvious to me, but I feel like I'm being manipulated. But I don't see why. I, 36 male, have been with my wife, Catherine, 35 female, for a decade. Everything's great. She's my best friend. We have fun together and she's my favorite person to spend time with. But as of late, something weird has been up. Look, 10 years in, you get pretty comfortable with each other. You've seen each other at your worst and really been through it, which means yes, we've passed gas from both ends and used the bathroom in front of each other. No big deal. For the past year, my wife has been farting more than usual. Again, I don't care. It's not a huge problem, but these are some pretty vile stinkers. And this might seem funny.
It is.
But we're in a small one-bedroom space that's poorly ventilated. So you can imagine that there's a limit to what one can take before one politely says, babe, I love you, but you gotta go to the bathroom. But here's the weird part. Without fail, she will deny it every single time. She'll look at me weirdly and question what I mean. At first, I thought she was being cheeky, so I let it go. But when it started happening every single day, I got worried. I asked her if there was something to be worried about. We're nearing 40, so you never know. She just looks at me weirdly and said with the utmost emphasis and assertion that she doesn't know what I meant. The next time it happened, I asked her if she smelt it. She said no. I looked at her wide-eyed because there's no way she couldn't smell this. My eyes were burning from the smell, and she's telling me she can't even smell it? I eventually confronted her, and she said it's probably a gas leak, or maybe a sulfur leak, or maybe something else, which, okay, fair. But we had the place inspected, and nothing out of the ordinary turned up. I tried to confront her again. She said, and I quote, could be a demon if it smells like rotten eggs. I'm sorry? Is it really easier to try to convince me our house is haunted than just admit that she's the one doing it? We live alone. I can hear it. We recently had a small spat over it where I asked her why she was choosing this hill to die on, and she looked at me like I'd given her the finger. She's gone silent and I'm fully losing my mind now, trying to figure out if I'm the asshole for calling out or if I'm just going insane. So am I the asshole? Am I overreacting? My husband pooped pants and says it's no big deal. I, 30 female, and my husband is 32 male. My husband got promoted at work, but it's not a paid promotion. It's mostly pro bono, but he says it could lead to a higher paid position. Anyways, he's tired all the time lately, and with these extra duties at work, he's been less consistent with his hygiene. He's even stopped showering as often. His diet's awful, so I think that might be contributing to this issue as well. He just eats a lot of gas station food and a lot of fast food. It used to be that he would have really bad gas, like curl your hair bad, open every window in the house and wait for it to dissipate bad, but he started taking pills for that, and it's helped a little bit. But lately, when I do the laundry, I've been noticing huge stains in his underwear. It's disgusting. It smells awful. Sometimes I can smell it when he walks around the house or sits on something. So I just stopped doing his laundry. I told him it is unacceptable and foul to be walking around with so much poop on your underwear. I didn't even feel comfortable sharing a bed with him, so he's been sleeping on the couch for the last month. He doesn't care about showering. He doesn't seem to care about his smell. And then he tries to guilt me about not sleeping in bed. But I told him it's his own fault. If he would just shower when he gets home, he could sleep in bed. I tried to explain how unsanitary it is. I told him I'm lonely from the lack of intimacy, not even being able to share a bed or space with him. I offered to go to the doctor with him. I asked him if he was feeling depressed. I even asked if he would try therapy or counseling. I tried to get him to use a bidet. I asked him if I could help him with his paperwork at home so that he'd feel less of a burden from work. He just brushed me off. He's insisting that I'm overreacting, and that it's normal for a grown man to have skid marks. The nail in the coffin was that he told me, sometimes when I fart, I press my underwear against my butt to check and see if it feels wet. I told him that was it. I was done. The line has been drawn and crossed. I told him I don't see how we can be intimate again because I'm disgusted by all of this. I mean, seriously, this is so childish. I can't even believe it's happening to me. I'm too embarrassed to tell a soul outside of my house about this, so that's why I'm venting here on Reddit. I feel like this is not real life right now. I truly care for this man, and I don't want to leave him because he's my husband. We have a life built together, and I can tell he's struggling with something, but if he makes absolutely no effort to fix this issue, and it's affecting both of us, it's really not fair to me. How long am I supposed to sit by while this continues? The worst part is him gaslighting me about it, saying that I'm just imagining things, that it doesn't smell as bad as I think, that I'm making out to be a big deal when it's not. We've been married 8 years, so it's just crazy to me that things can change so suddenly, and it seems like he's stopped trying altogether.
Am I the asshole for refusing to repay my ex-husband for the college tuition he paid for years ago?
No.
If y'all were married, no.
So for some background, my ex-husband and I ended things over 20 years ago. When our son was 2, he stepped out.
Oh my.
At that time, I was a stay-at-home mom and going to nursing school full-time. He was paying for my schooling. After he left, I asked if he would keep paying for my school so I could finish with no debt. He agreed, saying it was the least he could do. A few months after that, he got his affair partner pregnant. Once she was pregnant, she demanded he stop paying for my schooling. It was 1/5 of their income, and she said that money needed to go towards their new baby. He refused and kept paying for the remaining year and a half I had left. Over the years, I continued my education, and now I'm a nurse practitioner. I do well for myself, and I never remarried. On to the problem. My son called me and told me that he and his wife are expecting. I was ecstatic. I asked if I could come over sometime during the weekend and give them some things, his favorite stuffy as a child, a check, and some other small sentimental things. He said yes, so I went over earlier today. I came by and I gave him everything, including a check for a few $1,000s for baby stuff, co-pays, the nursery, or anything they may want. My son and his wife thanked me and told me the money would be very helpful. My ex-husband and his wife came over a little while later. They surprised them with dinner and didn't know I'd be there, and they saw the check on the counter. My ex's wife asked about it, and I said, oh, well, I wanted to help out where I could. Everything's so expensive nowadays.
True.
I was really trying to be polite, but I don't think this is any of her business. This woman had the audacity to say, well, maybe since you all have all this money, now you can finally pay us back all the money that you took when you went to college. I was dumbfounded. My ex had literally never brought this up to me, paying him back. He always said it was the least he could do for both me and our son. My ex has done very well for himself in his career. I don't see how or why they'd need the money. So I asked them, do you guys need the money or something? And my ex said no. And she said, of course not. It's about principle. I told her I will absolutely not be paying them back for college tuition from over 20 years ago, especially when she ended up in our marital home while I was living in a small apartment, barely making ends meet for years after I initially finished school. I'd never been bitter or mean. I've always been civil since our kids are siblings, but my blood was boiling. I left shortly after that. According to my son, this has been a point of contention in their marriage. She's brought it up a few times over the years in front of him, and she's insisting to him that he needs to convince me to finally pay back what they're owed. The biggest issue now is that the whole damn family is involved. I got calls from 3 separate family members saying I needed to get over myself and just pay it back. Am I the asshole for giving my husband a pregnancy test as a birthday gift? Hi, I am female 23 and my husband's male 25.
Yeah.
Birthday was 1 week ago.
That's a young marriage.
For real.
It was a young marriage. We wanted a baby for a really long time, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was so excited. Knowing my husband's birthday was in 3 days, I decided to keep it a secret and give him the test as part of a birthday gift. Because he wouldn't be expecting it, in my head, it would make it more shocking, equally exciting. At least that's how I thought it would be. Perhaps that was a dumb thought. Now, this was not going to be a big party with a ton of people. My husband didn't want that, so it was just going to be the two of us. He was going to open his gifts, and we were going to eat a nice dinner, and it was going to be chill and intimate. With this in mind, I didn't think giving him the pregnancy test as a gift would be a problem at all. If it were a big party, I wouldn't have done it because it would have taken the entire focus off of him, but this is a small party, just me and him. When it came for me to give him his gifts, the pregnancy test was in a small box, and I told him to open it last. He was super happy with all of his gifts, and when he opened the box with the pregnancy test in it, his demeanor changed. He seemed upset. I asked what was wrong, and he said it was a stupid gift, and how could you hide something like this from me? You knew this for so long and hid it? I explained to him it was 3 days. I thought it would be a wonderful gift. Like I said, we wanted a baby for so long, and I thought he'd be happy. He said he was happy, but the timing for me to tell him was horrible, and that it was his birthday, not a celebration of pregnancy. I was confused, hurt, and upset. So many emotions at once. I called him immature, and that led to a fight. He slept on the couch that night. This past week, he hasn't talked to me too much. Whenever I try to bring it up, he says, just stop. We're past it. It was dumb of you. Stuff like that. He doesn't tell me how happy he is or any celebration about us being pregnant. Whenever I talk to him, he doesn't really reply. It's just yes or no or a grunt. I feel horrible. I didn't think this would be a bad gift. I thought he'd love it. Am I the asshole for doing this? I really thought it was okay, but I'm starting to think he's right. I shouldn't have done this. And then there's updates. I don't really know if this is considered an update, but after reading replies, I'd like to clear up a few things. 1, no, my husband has never acted this way towards me. We've argued before, but it has never led to the point where he's ignoring me. 2, all the comments asking what I mean by wanting a baby for a really long time. We've been married for 4 years, and we agreed from the start about wanting children. So she was 19 and he was 21.
Babies.
We've been trying to have a baby. I didn't stop taking birth control secretly, nor did we stop using protection accidentally. This was something we were both originally wanting. 4, I didn't tell anyone before him. He was the first person to know. 5, I thought I clearly stated we were alone for the party, but we were alone. There wasn't anyone else around. It was just us. I don't want to kick him out or leave him. I really would appreciate any advice on how to go about talking to him if you have any advice. And number 7, I don't want to get an abortion. Am I the asshole because I think my husband's female friend is being inappropriate?
No.
My husband, 40 male, N, has worked at a job where he was the top supervisor of his department. For a while, there was an employee, 25-ish to 28, female, K, that he was mentoring. For context, this is a job that requires a specialized degree and internship. I also have the same degree and job, but I do more freelance work. When K worked with N, she was also a supervisor, but just underneath him. N was the head supervisor for the department, and K was a mid-level supervisor, along with another person, S, 40s male, also married. N always thought K was a super prodigy, and he mentored her a lot. This was fine, nothing weird, because I understand how the industry works, and I know that mentoring younger people in the career is normal. When K left the job, N maintained a friendship and communication with her because she still wanted his guidance and mentorship. I was fully aware of this, and I knew they would talk about work stuff often. I have also known Kay for the entire time, and we've always been cordial. We spoke friendly enough at work events for their company. I was invited to her wedding and graduation party with N. She has never purposely excluded me from any events that she invited N to. I've tried multiple times to show her kindness and extended friendship to her, but she is not receptive. For example, for graduation, I put together an amazing gift for her because we share an interest in the same hobby. So I gifted her high quality supplies for it. She was aware that the gift was put together by me because N told her that I did, but she only wrote a thank you note for N for the gift and years of mentorship. She literally did not even acknowledge me in the note at all. I've also invited her to social events that I was hosting, but she always turned them down. Here's the current issue. Kay is getting divorced. She texted N and told him all about it, and then she suggested that they should go out with S to catch up. Originally, the plan was to get brunch on a weekend and catch up, but now Kay has turned the get-together into a full dinner and drinks. When Kay shared these plans with N and S, her exact text, I saw it on N's phone, was, "So which one of you guys is going to buy me my drinks?" I know it could be an innocent text between them, but it struck me as flirty and inappropriate. Also, this woman is gorgeous and intelligent. She reminds me of Izzy from Grey's Anatomy. In general, she would be a very desirable woman. So it just feels weird to me that this newly single woman would reach out to two married men and suggest they all go out and buy her drinks. I mentioned this to N, and he said it was because Kay is younger than us and is still in her party phase, and she didn't mean anything by it. But he mentioned to Kay that maybe they should just do dinner and skip the drinks because I thought it was weird. Kay flipped out. She called me a bitch and is saying that I'm slut-shaming her and accusing her of husband stealing.